This is the dirty secret of tiny home living. It is not the square footage that breaks people. It is the clutter. When your kitchen is your living room, is your bedroom, is your office, is your mudroom, everything ends up everywhere, always. The Dogtrot container home solves this. Not by giving you more space, by giving every category of your life its own container. And the result is the most organized, most visually calm, and most spatially functional small home layout that exists in alternative residential architecture today. Container home design that solves real daily problems instead of creating new ones. That is Beyond Real Homes every single week. Subscribe right now and hit the notification bell. You will not want to miss a single one. The clutter problem in tiny homes is not a discipline problem. It is a design problem. Every piece of clutter research in residential psychology reaches the same conclusion. People are not messy because they choose to be messy. They are messy because the spaces they live in do not have a clear and dedicated place for every category of object they own. When a home has a specific zone for outdoor gear, that gear goes in that zone. When a home has a dedicated workspace with its own storage, work items stay in the workspace. When the sleeping zone is physically separate from the living zone, the boundary between those two states of being, resting and active, is maintained unconsciously rather than requiring constant conscious effort to uphold. Single-volume tiny homes remove all of those boundaries simultaneously. Every category of object competes for the same floor space. Every activity occurs in the same visual field. The result is not a small home that is easy to keep tidy. It is a small home where tidiness requires a level of ongoing conscious effort that most people cannot sustain against the demands of daily life. The Dogtrot container home removes this problem structurally. 2 separate shipping container volumes. 1 continuous roof over both. An open breezeway between them. Each container dedicated to a distinct functional category of daily life. The physical separation between the 2 volumes creates the spatial and psychological separation between life categories that single-volume tiny homes cannot produce. And because the structural shell of each volume is a mass-produced agricultural steel container, the build cost of achieving this separation is dramatically lower than any timber-framed equivalent could produce. Today we cover exactly how the Dogtrot container home solves tiny house clutter, what the exterior and interior look like when it is done correctly, the full cost breakdown in 2026 numbers, and the 3 organizational decisions that determine whether the clutter problem is solved permanently or simply relocated. Let us start with the problem in full. In a standard single-volume tiny home of 300 to 450 square feet, the following functions share the same primary floor area simultaneously: food preparation, dining, relaxing, working, sleeping, dressing, exercise, laundry, entry and shoe storage, outdoor gear storage, guest accommodation. That is 11 distinct life categories competing for the same 300 to 450 square feet. Each one generates its own category of objects. Cooking generates pots, utensils, food, and cutting boards. Work generates laptops, cables, notebooks, and files. Outdoor living generates boots, jackets, backpacks, and sporting equipment. Laundry generates clothes in various states of clean, dirty, and in between. In a full-size home, these categories are physically separated by walls, corridors, and dedicated rooms. The objects of each category stay in their zone, because the zones are architecturally defined and physically distinct. In a single-volume tiny home, there are no architectural boundaries between categories. There is floor space, and there are objects. The objects migrate to the available floor space, regardless of category. The kitchen utensil migrates to the desk surface. The work laptop migrates to the dining table. The outdoor boots migrate to the front of the sofa. This is not carelessness. This is physics. Objects move to available horizontal surfaces. When all horizontal surfaces are within the same room, all categories of objects share all surfaces. The result is visible, constant, ambient clutter that the occupant cannot fully address without removing the structural problem that created it. The Dogtrot container home addresses the structural problem. The organizational logic of the Dogtrot container home is the same logic that has governed the most clutter-free households in every culture and every era. One container, one world. Container 1 is the active world: kitchen, dining, living, work. The container where the household is awake, productive, social, and engaged. Every object in this container belongs to the active category: food, work tools, entertainment, social equipment. Container 2 is the restorative world: sleeping, dressing, bathroom, laundry. The container where the household rests, recovers, and prepares. Every object in this container belongs to the restorative category: clothing, bedding, personal care items, laundry in all its states. The breezeway between them is the transition zone, not a room, not a storage space. A covered outdoor passage that is deliberately kept free of all objects from both categories. It is the architectural and psychological boundary between the active and restorative worlds. Crossing it is a physical act that signals a shift between life categories, in a way that walking from one end of a single room to the other never can. In practice, this separation has a specific and measurable effect on clutter behavior that Dogtrot container home occupants consistently report. Objects do not migrate between containers, not because the occupant imposes discipline to prevent it, because the physical separation, the act of opening a door, crossing the breezeway, and opening a second door, creates a friction that interrupts the unconscious migration behavior that single-volume spaces make effortless. The kitchen utensil stays in the kitchen container because taking it to the sleeping container requires a deliberate journey. The work laptop stays in the active container because it requires a conscious act to move it to the restorative space. The outdoor boots go in the breezeway storage if a dedicated entry zone is built into the breezeway connector, the one addition most Dogtrot container home builders make to the standard two-container arrangement. The architecture is doing the organizing. The occupant is simply living inside a system that makes tidiness the path of least resistance, rather than the path of greatest effort. From the outside, the Dogtrot container home reads as a single building, rather than two separate structures. The single continuous roof, spanning both containers and the breezeway between them, is the architectural element that unifies the composition. It reads from any approach angle as one roofline covering one building. The open passage under it is a surprise when you arrive at the front face. The containers visible on either side of the breezeway opening read as the two wings of a single structure, rather than as isolated volumes. The container faces are the exterior cladding, painted or powder-coated corrugated steel in most builds, with the option to clad the outward-facing long walls of each container in timber, fiber cement, or stone veneer, where the aesthetic calls for it. The breezeway-facing short walls of each container are where the most generous glazing lives, typically full-height glass panels or sliding doors that open the interior of each container directly onto the covered passage. The roof over the breezeway is the most structurally considered element of the whole build. It must span from the top of one container to the top of the other, across the open gap, without any intermediate support touching the ground in the passage, since any column in the breezeway would compromise the open transition function that the passage is designed to provide. A simple steel portal frame spanning the gap, with the roof cladding running continuously from one container face to the other, is the standard structural solution. Span typically 8 to 14 feet, depending on container spacing. Portal frame cost: $4,500 to $9,000, including fabrication and erection. The entry zone at the front of the breezeway is where the mudroom function lives. Built-in timber bench with boot storage below. Hook rail at 2 heights for adult and child outerwear. A mat recess in the concrete floor for wet footwear drainage. All of this contained within the breezeway itself, not inside either container, which means the mudroom clutter zone is architecturally isolated from both the active and restorative containers before either of them is entered. This is the third organizational boundary the Dogtrot container home creates. Outdoor gear stays at the threshold. Step through the active container door from the breezeway, and the full 40-foot length of the container interior unfolds in front of you. Kitchen at the far end. The entire short wall end of the container. Full-width bench, integrated appliances, overhead storage, running the full 8-foot width of the container. Nothing behind the bench that belongs to any other life category. Dining table in the first third of the container. 4 chairs. 1 pendant light above. Nothing on the table that was not placed there deliberately for a meal or a work session. No mail. No shoes. No chargers. Because mail and shoes and chargers have a home in the other container. Living zone in the central section. A sofa facing the breezeway facing glazed wall. The covered passage visible through the glass. The outdoor transition space framing a view that is simultaneously private and connected. A low coffee table. 2 side tables. Bookshelves along one long wall. Work zone at the breezeway end of the active container, adjacent to the door, accessible from the breezeway directly, without passing through the living or dining zones. A built-in desk, running the full 8-foot width of the container end wall. Storage above. Cable management below. Every category of active life object in its correct position. Nothing migrating, because there is nowhere for it to migrate to. The restorative container's layout is the mirror logic of the active container. Bedroom at the far end, away from the breezeway. A full-width platform bed. Storage under the bed. A wardrobe system running one long wall. No desk, no kitchen equipment. Nothing that belongs to the active world. Bathroom mid-container. Full-height partition, creating a completely enclosed wet zone. Shower, vanity, toilet. Nothing visible from the bedroom or the dressing area. Laundry stack, adjacent to the bathroom, sharing the wet wall. Washer and dryer on a short section of bench, with a folding counter above. Laundry in all its states contained within this zone. Not on the bedroom floor, not on the dining table, in its designated zone. Dressing area at the breezeway end of the restorative container, adjacent to the door. A full-length mirror. A second wardrobe run for off-season clothing and accessories. A single chair for sitting while dressing. The restorative container is not a bedroom. It is a sleeping, bathing, dressing, and laundry hub. Every object belonging to those functions has a home within this container. None of those objects need to cross the breezeway. Here is what a Dogtrot container home costs to build in 2026. Based on 2 40-foot Grade A containers, a 10-foot breezeway, and a single spanning roof. Containers. 2 Grade A 40-foot containers, at current 2026 market pricing. $3,800 to $5,800 per container. Total. $7,600 to $11,600. Site preparation and foundation. 2 concrete pads under the containers, graded site between them, and concrete path through the breezeway. $14,000 to $24,000. Breezeway portal frame and roof. Steel portal frame spanning the gap between containers. Continuous metal roof cladding from container face to container face. $9,000 to $18,000. Container modification. Cutting breezeway facing end wall openings on both containers. Installing full-height glazed sliding doors at each breezeway opening. Structural reinforcement at all cut openings. $8,000 to $14,000 per container. Total for both containers, $16,000 to $28,000. Insulation and interior lining. Closed cell spray foam to all interior steel surfaces of both containers. Interior plywood or timber board lining on secondary framing. This is non-negotiable. Without it, the containers are thermally unusable. $8,000 to $13,000 per container. Total for both, $16,000 to $26,000. Breezeway entry zone fit-out. Timber bench, boot storage, hook rail, mat recess, and weatherproof lighting. $2,500 to $5,500. Active container fit-out. Kitchen including appliances, cabinetry, and bench. $12,000 to $22,000. Dining and living furniture. $4,500 to $9,000. Built-in work desk and storage. $2,800 to $5,500. Flooring, lighting, and electrical fit-off. $7,000 to $13,000. Active container total, $26,300 to $49,500. Restorative container fit-out. Bathroom including shower, vanity, and toilet. $9,000 to $18,000. Bedroom platform bed and wardrobe system. $6,500 to $14,000. Laundry stack and bench. $3,500 to $6,500. Dressing area fittings. $1,800 to $4,000. Flooring, lighting, and electrical fit-off. $7,000 to $13,000. Restorative container total. $27,800 to $55,500. Mechanical systems. Electrical supply. Subboards in each container, and full fit-off. $8,000 to $14,000. Plumbing supply and drainage for both bathroom and kitchen. $9,000 to $16,000. Mini-split heat pumps in each container. $5,200 to $10,400 for 2 units. Solar array if off-grid. $8,000 to $14,000 after incentives. Mechanical total without solar. $22,200 to $40,400. Permits and professional fees. Structural engineering for container modification and portal frame. Permits and council approvals. $8,000 to $16,000. Contingency, 10%. Non-negotiable. Total build cost. Budget owner-managed build with functional finishes. $145,000 to $210,000. Mid-range contractor build with quality finishes and solar. $210,000 to $295,000. For that total, you receive 2 fully functional, thermally resolved, acoustically separated living volumes, a dedicated transition and entry zone, and the only tiny home layout that solves the clutter problem at the architectural level, rather than the discipline level. So here is the question I want answered in the comments right now. Is the clutter problem in tiny homes a design failure that the Dogtrot container layout genuinely solves? Or is the $145,000 to $210,000 build cost for a 2-container Dogtrot system too far above the entry point of most tiny home budgets to make this the practical solution it claims to be? Because both arguments are real. And I want to know which side you are on. Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video gave you a solution to a problem you thought was just part of tiny home living, share it with every person you know who is either planning a tiny home build or currently living in one and losing the clutter battle. The clutter problem is not their fault. It is the floor plan's fault. And this is the fix. Subscribe to Beyond Real Homes so you are here for every problem solution video we publish. I am your host on Beyond Real Homes. See you in the next one.